Okay, this is a WebCor 210, I believe. Let me see if I can find the model number. 210-1. It's a couple days old. Tube. I recapped this whole thing. Every capacitor in this, with the exception of the electrolytics, which the customer declined replacement. They tested fine. ESR-wise, they didn't seem to be leaky or anything, so we just let those be. Had this thing working mint, playing perfectly, recording perfectly, and it's been here a little too long, as usual. So much going on in my life right now. I'm trying to get to stuff as fast as I possibly can, but the customer said that one of the reels was dragging on it, and so it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I've got probably maybe 3/16 of an inch clearance basically all the way around on this reel table on this side, and you could hear that it's actually touching right here, and it's up maybe a 1/4 inch on this side right off camera there, and it wasn't that way when it left. I know that, or I didn't notice it. I don't think it was that way. And the customer asked that I take the record eye and turn it 180 degrees because the opening is on the top, and I actually have a 210 of my own, and I checked the record eye position on it, and it's exactly the same. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, well, at a minimum, pull this top cover back off, which is fairly easy. There's a couple of set screws into this big knob right here, because this is what causes it to engage or disengage. It's a complete idler driven system. Causes it to either engage or disengage. Like you saw that one move forward, it's just spring loaded, and then there's a rubber roller, rubber idler assembly, and a rubber tire in there. So I'm wondering if I can get in there and something got bent somehow. I don't recall it being that way. I might be wrong. Like I said, I recapped the whole thing. I did a YouTube short on it. I didn't record the recapping. It was a multi-hour process, and I ordered the wrong caps and got the right ones at my expense. I didn't charge the customer shipping or anything on those, which I had to pay to the supplier because it was my mistake. So let me go ahead and get the Allen wrench out, because there's one set screw up under here, and it's really an odd size. It's not a metric, it's not a English size, but if you get the right end in there and you tilt it at just the right angle and you squint your eyes, you can actually get that set screw to come out of there. Really strange. And now to rotate the record eye 180 degrees, it's clamped into place, so I've got to pull this whole chassis out of this wooden cabinet, which is still in extremely good condition for the age of this unit. I think he mentioned something about it being produced in the 50s. I think it's got either 4 or 5 octal tubes. It doesn't even have the miniature base tubes in it, if that dates it. Anyhow, I went through, cleaned all the rubber rollers and everything, and cleaned the heads up in here. It's a pretty nice unit. It worked really, really good. Did some record playback tests on it at both speeds. It does 7.5, and it's kind of hard to see, but 3 3/4 speed as well, depending upon where you put this adjustment right there. So yeah, let me try to get this top off of this thing, and we will move forward and see if there's something easily that I can do to remedy this situation. One moment, please. Okay, so I have the top removed from the unit right now, and just as a rudimentary measuring device, I don't really have any way of accurately measuring this. I've got a roll of Scotch 33 electrical tape, and I'm going to kind of center right there, and then I have the bubble level app on my phone that I'm going to put on here, and you can see this one is pretty close 0 degrees left to right and 0.4 degrees vertically. Actually, you can't see that because the light is right. There we go. So 0.0 to 0.1 degrees and 0.4 degrees on that reel table. And then if I come over to this one, and really no sleight of hand going on here, you can see that it's showing 1.4 degrees leaning in this direction, and then 0.4 leaning down in this way. So it looks like it's off in this direction. That's too low. So if I try to, I can kind of straighten it up. Well, it takes quite a bit of force. And then I gotta lift. There we go. Yeah, it's off a little bit. We'll do this one more time. And once again, the reflection. That's all pretty close. They're almost turning red. I think they turn red at 0.5 or below, or various shades of red. Even the center one is just very, very slightly red. And if I just give it the slightest amount of pressure. And I also noticed, get that out of the way, that even when I release the brake on this side, it's hard to turn. And I know I had these off and I lubed them. This one, on the other hand, turns perfectly free with the brake released. So I'm going to grab a flathead. They used a lot of flathead screws. We'll pop that out. And I know I lubed these up before it left. Oh, look at that with the screw removed. It's perfectly fine. Although it's really, oh, you know what? Shoot. Let me try to get the spring. Actually, you know what? I don't need to get the spring off. I just need to pull it around. Come on. Oh, why do you gotta be like that? And I'll show you what I think's going on here. See that little indentation that sticks out right there? It's supposed to line up in that groove right there. Like that. Like there's only one way it's supposed to go together. And so you can see I lubed that up. I cleaned it with acetone and lubed up the shaft. So we'll leave that off for just a moment. I wonder if these were glued down. I wonder if that's what that is, glue residue from the factory. Pull the brake out of the way. And see, it turns perfectly fine there. So I'm betting. See, and I put an R and an R. I was working on this upside down, like a normal reel-to-reel with the heads towards you. This one's backwards, or backwards. So I'm thinking I might try to apply a little bit of RTV, one of my favorite bonding agents, just for the heck of it. I don't think I paused the video since I had the bubble level out. So let's go ahead and measure these once again. Try to get it centered up there. Block the light. 0.1 and negative 0.6. And I think that's pretty well centered. I'm going to say that's a win. So I've got 0.2 degrees and -1 right now. Much, much better. And I'll bet if I release this brake, this thing rotates perfectly free. So I think what happened is this, I can't even do it. How? Yeah, it was like that. Now it's cockeyed. Well, that would certainly explain a lot. So look at that. Let me kill this one light right here. There we go. And I'm just going to rotate this around. And I think you'll find that the angle changes, maybe, maybe not. As it rotates, I would have thought that it would have. Would have thought they would have traded places. Oh no, they won't, because, yeah, duh, I'm a dumb arse. I gotta turn the phone. So now we've got 1.7 and 0.09. And now 1.7 and negative 0.7. Now I've got negative 1.8 and 0.5. Okay, well, I think this is going to be an easy fix, luckily. It's just that little tab, there, drop it back into place. And I'm pretty happy with 0.5 degrees maximum. And it rotates perfectly free. Yeah, I think it's going to need just a little droplet of glue to hold this down. And I think I should do this side too. I wonder if they had some kind of an alignment jig when they built this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. I need to pull these 4 screws out of the chassis and unclamp this eye tube right here so that I can turn it 180 to satisfy the customer's request. Alright, so I'm just going to try to strip some of this off, get down to a fresh layer. I'm not going to try to grind it away or anything. Now you can see some is coming off. This will give the RTV a good clean surface to bond to. And we'll do it on both of them. Same thing on the bottom here. It's only 50+ year old glue. Nothing to be alarmed about. And you can certainly see how much of a hurry they must have been in when they built this thing, because they just took a paintbrush and just glopped it around here and put those things together and called her a day at that point. Let me see, I've got a tube of RTV that I use when I'm doing like Miller and Kressel and Definitive Technology subwoofers. And we'll see if this is going to cooperate. I just used it like a week ago. Okay. Oh, that is excellent. Just the smallest amount of squish out. I'm going to try to center it. Notice the break on this side is much less intense than the break on that side, even though they have basically mirror images of the springs. Possibly the felt is worn a bit more on one side versus the other side. So we'll let that cure up, and I'll pop the chassis out of this thing, do a 180 on that tube if I can. I think it has wire leads. I don't think it's socketed to like a circuit board. I don't think there is a circuit board. I think it's all terminal point-to-point wiring on this unit, as I recall. Oh, I think there's screws underneath too. And yes, there are 4 screws underneath. They're kind of hard to see, but there's 2 there, and then 2 right there, which I'll pop out. And I think for safety, can't really see me doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and just loosely thread a couple of those in so it doesn't just fall. Hopefully I can get somewhat of a center of gravity on this thing. Does not want to release easily, I remember this. Okay, hang on. Alright, I think I got it coming out. It's a very tight fit. And it weighs like 30 pounds. This thing is a monster. Okay. As you can see, the speaker is in pristine condition. So I'm not going to lay it down, but I'll show you the work that I did recapping this unit. Every single wax, domino, or tiger stripe capacitor has been replaced on this unit. And then there are the tubes. And yes, there is the, turn it that way. And there is the tube that we need to rotate 180 degrees. So I think what I'm going to do is just unplug this guy. And it appears to have two large leads, which I'm going to try to mark in some fashion. And we'll see how this works out. I'm just wondering if it will go on. Nope, it won't go on the wrong way. Okay. I am good with that. And certainly, wow, it's on there. It's got a little set screw right there. If I can break that set screw loose easily. Oh, it's only been in there forever. There we go. And they glued it. Either that or it's just wrapped with friction tape, it looks like. I don't want to damage this tube. I'll try to gently pry this open. Hang on, one moment please. Let's get that light back on so you can see a little bit better. Sorry about that. You can see the glue is definitely bonded. Oh, good. I feel it coming loose. And it's coming out. I'm only prying on the Bakelite base, not on the actual glass. So looking at the bottom of this unit, there's an arrow, and I put a little black mark right there where it was facing. So now, if I can just get it to snap back into place here, and then get the arrow. Oh, that's pretty doggone close. It's almost perfect. Okay, it's 180 degrees out from where it was. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay it back down in the correct orientation here. And then I'm just going to set the top back on it. And make sure that we have a nice little gap, because I can loosen that set screw and I can move the tube up and down. And I like to have a slight gap, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That looks pretty good. Tighten up that set screw. And then I'll flip it back over and give it about 1/8 of a turn of torque. There we go. Torque to factory spec. Well, I'm very happy with that. So, let me go ahead and reassemble this thing and give it a test. Okay, well, I have it all reassembled. The power has been applied. The tubes are warmed up at this point. So, let's go ahead and hit play. Turn the volume up just a hair. It doesn't sound too terribly bad for a, what, 60, 70 plus year old unit. Sounds pretty good. Let's stop it. Reverse directions. Not too terribly much signal to noise ratio. It sounds pretty good for what it is. It's got a little bit of noise, but once again, what do you expect? Okay, well, I certainly hope you enjoyed the comeback on the Webster-Chicago or WebCor 210-1 electronic memory. Look at that. Wow. Cutting edge at the time. Actually, this thing is in mint condition for its age. Now, unfortunately, the bass and treble control is inactive. Let's move that up so you can see it. The bass and treble control did not work. It sat in somewhat of a damp environment, and the two portions of the pot, it's got a center and an outer portion. Center is for volume and power, and the outer is for bass and treble. The customer asked me just to go ahead and hardwire this in the max treble position, which is what I did. But it's working great. I even went ahead and replaced the incandescent lamp with an LED, and it looks really good. So when you shut the power off on this unit, it does go off. So it actually looks pretty doggone good. The camera does not do it justice by any means. So I'm just wondering if I'll get a copyright claim on this audio. I kind of doubt it because I know that classical music is exempt from copyright. But anyhow, that's it. I hope the customer is going to be happy. Once again, it took way longer than anticipated. There's just so much going on right now, and I have so little time to do these repairs. But I'm doing it as best I can. I hope everyone certainly understands. Everyone, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at NorCal715. You can email me, NorCal715videos at gmail.com. That is the best way to contact me. Please be patient. I have a full-time job, and I do these repairs in my spare time, as time allows. Remember, with your help, actually, if you try to contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please be aware I may never respond. It's been so long since I had a chance to check those messages. I've just been so busy. So please, Gmail only, and be very patient. I've answered a few emails, but I just haven't had the time. I've been trying to focus on my work and then this work as well. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everyone, once again, thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. Bye-bye. That one might get a copyright strike. Anyhow, working great. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, well, I have it all back together, and power has been applied. The tubes have been warmed up. It is a little noisy, the motor it is. Okay, let's take that again. Okay, well, I have it all back together. Power has been applied. The tubes are warmed up. You can hear the motor is a little bit noisy, but what do you expect for something that's like 60 plus years old? Let's go ahead and put it in the play position. And it actually sounds pretty good for the age of the unit. The last time it was here, I did service all the controls, the switches and whatnot. It sounds great for what it is. Obviously, it's not high-res 192K MP3 audio or super audio CD, something like that. It's not a... Okay, autofocus, you go off. So we'll stop it, and I'm not happy with the focus, so we may take that again. Let's zoom in. Oh yeah, that's way off. Manual focus off, autofocus, manual focus. Okay, I'm much happier with that. Oh, let's rewind it. This will be on the blooper portion, which I haven't done in quite a while. Oops. Get it queued up here. All right. Okay, good enough. Okay, take two.
Smell good ground coffee. That's Maxwell House coffee. Listen to the sound of the Maxwell House coffee pot at work.
Future left blue blades for the quickest, slickest shaves.